Can you say anything about the fear? Because I think this has come up before, that sometimes parents or even community members will say, why aren't you just putting them on a fast track to English so they can assimilate and be successful?
Well, a lot of people do that, and that's also addressed in this graph here. The bottom line here is no services at all. So that means English only. If they want to English only, you can go somewhere else because that's the worst. I am giving them the best. And if they want no services, they want the worst, they can go somewhere else. At Raul Yzaguirre School for Success, we're giving the best.
When I've tutored in ESL classes in at local high schools, one of the issues is this issue of content, is that the being put in a situation where language, learning English is the primary objective. They've never, when it comes to content, they're not absorbing the content. So you can see why this model would be, where you would be getting both training in two languages, and formal training in Spanish as well, which for me would have been, immensely valuable because I have no academic Spanish at all.
Yeah, and a lot of our native speakers are like that. A lot of our native speakers don't have the basic grammar. Yeah, I learned Spanish in a classroom. I'm not a native speaker, but I guarantee you, I'll go to a native speaker right here, and I say, "Can you conjugate the verb estar in the third person preterite?"
No.
And most of you can't.
She's helped me with my Spanish homework, like figuring out the grammar. Like she doesn't know what I'm reading. She doesn't know what I'm saying. But
Right.
she'll
tell you the verb conjugation.
But she'll tell me
She can conjugate a verb.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet you can answer that question.
Yeah.
So, and
But-
it's great because you go to first grade classes, and that's what they're doing. The kids are doing all that, the verbs and the conjugations and all that stuff. So they're learning when they're little ones, and they can probably do much better than I can.
Eventually they will. But they're babies. The other part to this, the thing that's critical is that the kids work together. Yes. Dual language depends on the kids working together and making the shift from the teacher teaching to being a facilitator and the kids teaching themselves. That is critical. So for that reason, I sent everyone, teachers and TAs, last June to this 2-day workshop about how to do this. And we have Fridays early release, and for a majority of the year we've had Fridays of just, all right, how do you do this in your class? Let's have a show and tell. And I said, okay, next week I would like you to prepare something and show us how you do this. And what I've been trying to do this year is to take as many of my teachers in there and say, this is what I want. And I'm trying to spread the knowledge around. I have teachers from lower grades come see him, so I spread the knowledge that way. Teachers from upper grades come and see him, so I spread the knowledge that way. And I go around and I get feedback to the folks. We had this thing, a Superstar Award. We have a little star in it, and people that are doing innovative, creative things with the model that I give them, I recognize them and give their star, and they're like, oh! First time they cried. I was so distraught. She was, it's a slow process. I think everyone is afraid of this. This is all new. Even experienced teachers, this is new, and I'm asking them to do a lot. I'm asking them to teach in a way that you were not taught. So it's a struggle, and I'm asking everyone, parents, teachers, students, to take a leap of faith and try it with me. So that's it in a nutshell.
Something that strikes me about it is, I know especially with the college students that I've taught that work with ESL students, one of the biggest problems is learning English in a classroom. You learn all sorts of useless vocabulary and useless ways of speaking that don't help you at all on the street.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, especially with this idea of having English Day and Spanish Day, English and Spanish Day, you get to practice real conversational English and talk like a real person.
And the opposite is true as well. For those folks that are learning the street proper language, they may be able to converse. They probably watch a bunch of TV shows and pick up the bad words and know how to say, a lot of slang words. But when it comes time to read something and pass a test, ¿qué es eso? I remember a stand and deliver, they say, ¿quién es calculos?
What is that?
He said, "What is?" He said, "Calculus." It was calculus.
Right.
He's saying, "Who is it? ¿Quién es calculus?" Some people they said, "Well, I didn't have any formal English training, and I did it just fine, or my grandfather did."
Right.
Yeah, your grandfather did, and when was he alive? Okay, at that time, there was maybe 13% of the people graduating. I don't know about you, but 13% is not a good thing. Yeah, 50% is not a good thing. We have 2,000 Latinos dropping out of this the school system every day in this country. 2,000 dropped out yesterday. 2,000 dropped out today. By the end of the week, there'll be 10,000 Latinos that dropped out of school. And while sad as that may seem, that is a drop in a bucket, because there was 10,000 the week before and 10,000 the week before. And what are we going to do? Keep doing the same thing over and over again? California did away with bilingual education.
Yep.